Hello, everyone. Blue Star Saber here once again to discuss My Hero Academia chapter 324 with MangaReader. Say hello, MangaReader.
Well, hello there, folks. Hello again.
Yes. Let's see. He's back after a week hiatus. Though granted,
Yeah.
he might have been hiatus from this one because I was supposed to do it with Lucky Chi yesterday before the next chapter unofficially came out, but he had to do something else, and I forgot to do this chapter, so I figured, Margarita, are you possibly available to do it with me? And he said yes.
Sure.
So, yeah.
That's
So yeah,
what I do, guys.
so anyway, chapter 324, A Young Woman's Declaration. Or as I like to call it, Uraraka's voice is heard or something. But anyway, we get
or as one other one says, a child's insistence. But yeah.
But anyway, the sort of cover page, though, maybe a bit part of the flashback, maybe is seeing the young Uraraka, which after me it looks pretty cute. I have to be honest, but
It's just small Uraraka. Small.
Yeah.
little one.
Chibi Uraraka.
Yeah. Small.
Yeah.
You're small, guys.
Yeah. But yeah, so you kind of got like her looking at like this person's this like dog-like human smiling. Let's see, with those two parents, I think the dad trying to say, Uraka pointing that, don't you want to, look at what the hero's doing? But anyway, speaking of her parents, let's see, Uraka's narrating about how her parents always look exhausted as they're watching her, let's see, give her speech. At some point, I'm going to wonder if they're going to ask if Midoriya's her boyfriend or something.
Yeah.
I am just waiting for that moment. But yeah. But who knows? But yeah. Let's see. But yeah, she thinks about how when she when she saw Heroes, narrating about how she saw Heroes in the first time, and let's see, she going back to how whenever she saw a hero in action, she always had her face turned to the spectators, as all of them are now looking at us. Let's see. I think there's even one with a baby in her arms and all that stuff, and I think the one with the All Might shirt that's been very critical of Midoriya, as long as Midoriya looking on as they're all looking at Midoriya and they're seeing how rugged he looks. Let's see, and eventually the sort of, I think, dog or fox lady that Midoriya saved ends up talking about how he's been fighting and how, he saved her out there this entire time.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, though the guy in the All Might shirt is saying, "You want us to look at him, so what?" And he doesn't, and he's not convinced. He's asking "Are we supposed to be covered in that kind of filth as well?" Yeah, I'm curious to see if this guy will get named in a data book at some point, or he's just going to be a random spectator.
It depends. I know some Japanese artists will occasionally make some lesser important NPC characters
named.
names. Yeah.
Which, let's see, I know Kishimoto did that quite a bit in the data book, and Oda does that in the SBS parts of his volumes.
Oh yes, Oda.
Stuff like that.
Freaking One Piece and its 1,000 chapters.
and it's 1,000 characters.
That too, yeah.
But yeah. So yeah. Let's see. But Uraraka says that no, only heroes are coated in that kind of muck, and let's see. So he's just asking him to give him a moment's rest to wash all that filth away. Just give him a break, people. Let's see, but yeah. So let's see, as you see the other students from the class just watching on as what she's saying. We see with, I think, Suyu being impressed. Let's see, with Ida telling, that right now Uraraka is fighting and all that stuff. For him
too.
For him, and of course everyone else and all that stuff. let's see, and you get like more of Uraraka's thoughts about how he always loved seeing people happy, and apparently she's fighting for their right to smile again.
Yep.
With Midoriya finally saying Uraraka's name as he's starting to spread tears. It's you. With Uraraka trying to say that if you want me to stand up here and assure you, he's sorry, she can't do that right now. And apparently that's because they're all gripped with like, the same fears and unease that they have and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As they're all, let's see, as they're trying to say, everyone here is a neighbor, including him, as you get a bit of a narration, seeing, let's see, thinking about how, granted, I'm not sure if it's Best Genius or maybe, let's see, Uraraka thinking this bit in narration, saying, seeing him in action, always desperate to save people, has given me so much to think about. Let's see. Oh, no, it's Uraraka, because the next bit of narration is when a hero's hurting, when heroes are hurting.
Yeah, I think most of the speech bubbles are still her.
Yeah, as you get, as you see clips of like Bakugo with Midori and Ida, let's see, Best Genius with present Mike, Airazara after, let's see, over 20 chapters, I assume, seemingly starting to finally get out of the hospital bed. Let's see, Hawks with Endeavor and Shoto, a close-up of Endeavor. Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, I'm just laughing about what you're saying about just everything for this.
Yeah.
Or I'm reading ahead. That could be it, too.
Possibly both, but yeah.
Uh-huh.
But also a little bit of a flashback of, let's see, Uraraka's dad saying, let's see, we're asking where she's looking at. There's like, let's see, it's like don't you want to look at the hero in front of you and all that stuff? As I think the hero's name is Eel Boy, because I think someone says Yo Eel Boy. I think that was the dog. But Uraraka finally starts looking about the young hero that looks a bit beaten up and all that stuff. And you start seeing Uraraka doing her classic laughing, snot-nosed smile kind of thing. Let's see. As Uraraka is making a speech about how to please lend him your strength so that we have a shot at smiling together in the future. And she ends up briefly thinking about Toga and like the tears she had from the last time they encountered, given her state of things.
Oh, yes.
As she goes on about how what he needs is like their help to find it and let's see, to like recover and just find it in the heart and just find it in their hearts to do so. Let's see, saying that, well, Izuku's Midoriya is trying to take all the responsibility that comes with like his quirk, but he's still got like a lot to learn. He's just like, a high school kid. Because I think the last chapter was kind of emphasizing about how while Midoriya has a special quirk, he himself is not that special and all that stuff. He's just a regular person. Let's see.
Yeah, that was the last chapter, yep.
Yeah. Which I quite like that kind of message, because I think many people were starting to wonder if Midoriya was going down, let's see. I guess you could say the underdog not becoming the underdog shonen protagonist trope. Kind of thing.
Yeah, you're special all along.
Yeah. Let's see, but the All Might guy's just trying to plead a bit more, but it's like, but Uraraka is continuing to shout, saying that this place, let's see, thinking about, and it seems like there's a bit of a flashback scene where Uraraka gets accepted into UA and she's crying with her mum, and she going like, is his, as Midoriya. Let's see.
Yeah.
As we're finally starting to go down to tears falling down, as he's thinking about the first time, Let's see, him and Uraraka met, as he's thinking, like, this is the story of how I became the greatest hero, as Uraraka's doing her speech. Here, let's see, and Uraraka's going, like, is his hero academia, let him stay here. As you just got many people just observe a double-page spread of, like, people just looking Midoriya down on his knees, crying and all that stuff. And in many ways, a similar manner when he was crying at first to All Might and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we got this really big panel of Midoriya just crying in tears and all that stuff, an entire page. But you also have... Sorry, what?
I'm not. I'm just laughing about it. I'm not really saying anything right now.
Right. As you end up saying, I think you're hearing Midori saying his narration, saying, and also as the dog fox-like lady is, let's see, running towards him. The principal looking on, spectators looking on. I think the principal thinking one step away. Let's see, thinking, try as he might, humanity always struggles to make true progress. And we see, let's see, one of the Pussycat girls. I think I'm trying to remember her name. The one with the scanning quirk, the one that lost her quirk.
It's been so long with further names. I have no idea right now.
Let's see. Let me just wild pussy cats. That's a. Let's see.
Oh yes.
Now that could be taken out of context.
It's just
Oh yeah.
Only if you stopped.
But yeah, Ragdoll. Let's see. Yeah, it's Ragdoll, the one that lost the quirk.
Ragdoll.
Well, I'm probably going to be demonetized for this. Let's see this video, but
demonetized because whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, Koto. As we end up seeing that, Koto has ended up running off, and we're seeing the flashback about. Let's see when he got like Midoriya's shills when his I think cousin I believe. Or was it aunt?
No.
I think
that's her. He's her niece or nephew. So
I know in the anime they made it cousin or something, right? Was it in the dub?
It might have been. I just remember reading or hearing nephew at some point. So maybe I watched the sub version, but
yeah. Let's see, but yeah, I do know that in one of the versions of like either the anime or in its dub or sub, they call him like, or maybe both, they call him like cousin.
I'd say it would be dub because I think the sub followed the manga entirely because I believe it was her sister because he lost his parents. So,
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. For my understanding, the reason they changed it was because of how young she looks or something.
Koda? Well, yeah. I know who you're talking about. I'm just saying his the relationship with Koda. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, with Mandalay or something. But yeah.
But they said second cousin. Maybe it was in the dub that they said. I guess. Oh well. I guess it's now second cousin. So.
Yeah. Well, cousin in the English dub. I think in the manga. And in the sub anime, it's aunt. But yeah, let's see. But yeah, we're going by the manga's canon, of course. But yeah, let's see. As he ends up pointing at the red ones, you see him running and crying as he comes to confront Midoriya with like the fox lady, that stuff. And you hear Midoriya finishing his narration, saying the story of how we all became the greatest hero, and that ends the chapter.
Right. So yeah, just for clarification, it is the manga where she is his official aunt. It is the anime. I guess it is both dub and sub where it was changed to cousin once removed. Confusing, I understand.
But again, what happens when it comes to translations?
I don't know if it could have been a translation error. It could just been, like you said, if they thought maybe she was too young to somehow be his aunt. But
yeah, but
Japan likes to draw older people pretty young, even though she's 31. So that whatever.
I don't know.
As for why I was somewhat laughing between this in between guys, it's not that I find this chapter funny. It's just that I already spent most of my tears that people were saying because this was actually a pretty emotional chapter. I already spent most of them when I read it the first time, so it's just funny to look back and think, damn, we always consider Deku a crybaby anyway, but this is one of the few times where those tears probably are warranted.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. In many ways, it's pretty much like the time when, he was told by All Might, you can become a hero, because these are the words he's wanted to hear for such a long time and all that stuff.
Yeah, the first time obviously was fairly. I don't know if it's a throwback, but it definitely works as a throwback.
Yeah,
If anything.
Yeah, it does remind me of that. It's just like, instead of this time, it's like getting like the regular citizens to, just accept him in and all that stuff.
I suppose this could be the throwback, considering the speech bubbles were saying originally how this was how Deku became the greatest hero, and now it's suddenly this is the story of how all of us became the greatest heroes.
Which seems to me implied that My Hero is definitely going to try and involve the majority of its cast in the upcoming arcs and possibly final battles at the very least.
Isn't this? I mean, I thought we were. I know the last time we discussed with Chi, this was going to be the final arc, or at least the finals. Yeah,
the final saga. So,
all right. Yeah, that's right. Because I keep forgetting there's mini arcs between. Like My Hero does it weird in that they have like sets of arcs in their whole saga situation.
Yeah, it's kind of like with what Dragon Ball and One Piece do with their like saga. Well, Dragon Ball has mini sagas, a part of a bigger saga, and One Piece.
Sometimes the only one that I can really remember.
Go on.
Technically was the Android Cell arc, but they still ultimately considered them different sagas. So, yeah, Dragon Ball really doesn't do too many arcs in between. If it's an arc, it's a filler arc, but typically it's just one massive saga that keeps going on and on.
Yeah, but like with One Piece is perhaps a better example where you've got like the East Blue saga, which had all the sort of Straw Hat arcs of Luffy recruiting his crewmates, heading for the Grand Line, and then it's like the Baroque Works saga, in which Luffy and his crew, joined by the Princess Phoebe, try to travel to Alabasta. By dealing with Baroque Work agents along the way as they try to confront, the Warlord Crocodile. And on and on and on for quite a few bits. The only saga I can think of that only had like one arc was the Thriller Bark saga, though. I do know
Thriller Bark.
because that was only like one arc. Though granted, you could argue Fishman Island saga came pretty close, but it has like a mini arc just before it with the Straw Hats reunion and all that stuff.
Hot damn. Dragon Ball is usually pretty straightforward. One Piece, obviously, being a storytelling manga, is pretty much on point with most of its storytelling.
Yeah.
Then you have Bleach that didn't really have too many arcs in between. I think it was just, again, one straight forward. I don't know. Maybe there was in-betweens in some of them, but I think it was mainly just, I don't know. Maybe unless they did like verses for everything, then maybe those were all considered their own little subsections or whatever you want to call them these days.
But yeah, I do like how you get people, the spectators, starting to look at him, and more people are starting to be sympathetical. Of course, you got like this one or two guy that keeps hesitating, asking why should we do this, or keeps pleading, and you result in Uraraka keeps shouting about what Midoriya is going through and all that stuff. To finally, she gets people to stop trying to be skeptical and all that stuff.
Would have been cool. Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was going to say, it would have been cooler if there were more than two people running to him. As if these were the only two people that he affected in his whole lifetime. But obviously, Aries not there for whatever reason.
And the mother was told to hold back a bit, but yeah. But I do like how the dog fox lady, I don't know. At some point, Koei, you gotta name this person for me.
Well, yeah, he clearly didn't name her.
Yeah.
He just called her Miss.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So the Miss here is like, this is Midoriya's, to try and further Uraraka's point, saying how this is the boy that saved him as she, goes running closer to her and all that stuff.
Yep.
Let's see. And I do like how Ida tells Midori about how Uraraka right now is fighting. Let's see, for like not just him, but for everyone else here that's a hero, because like she's thinking back about, because it's like, because her whole belief is like who looks out for the heroes, saving people and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Having read this now for the second time, didn't even realize that unless I'm misremembering, I didn't even know the guy from the first chapter / first episode was in the crowd. I didn't even realize that. The one that was talking to Midoriya during when he was doing his the fight scenes or whatever, when he was on his way to school.
is that the dude with the All Might shirt, or is that someone else?
No, the star shirt guy with the weird hair or whatever, the star hair things or whatnot. Pretty sure he's from the first episode.
Which page is that?
Towards the end, when he shows up, is when he's standing right next to the guy that's complaining or whatever, the All Might shirt guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at this. I'm trying to find, where is he?
I don't even know what page it is, because I might be on a different site than you.
I'm looking at the official Fizz.
Oh, okay.
Fizz page, which is mostly a scroll through.
I don't know how many pages there are between chapters. If there's 14, then it'd be page 13.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's the guy. I could be wrong, but if it's kind of interesting if it is the guy. All things considered.
Oh yeah, I see him now, but I think you might be correct.
Like, wow, that's awfully coincidental, man.
Yeah, definitely driving in that homage and all that stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to. I mean, maybe I'll. You know what? I'm gonna look back just because I'm an idiot. But yeah, you can continue what you're doing, and I'll just confirm our suspicions if
yeah,
if I catch up, if I do that.
Yeah. So yeah, I do like that we got a little panel of Ayazawa at last, because we finally get to see what's Ayazawa's state. Because I'm very curious to see if he's been, told the entire situation of Midori and all that stuff, which I assume that he's probably has been at this point, if everyone in his class know, or his students know.
Shit, it is the guy. I was right. Holy crap!
Yeah.
It was when Mount Lady and came in and made her supposed debut with the wood guy whose name escapes me.
I believe it's Kami or something.
Yeah, Kamui Woods.
Yeah.
Kamui Woods. Yeah, the guy who's standing in the crowd is the guy that Deku was more or less kind of interacting with originally on his way to school.
Yeah. Let's see. I do like that little continuity notch there.
Yeah.
I wonder if he has a name on. I wonder if he has a name on the Wikipedia site. So,
if he's possibly, I don't know. They didn't give him a name in the in that chapter, obviously. So you'd have to figure something out on that one. But yeah, that's the guy. So I didn't even notice that the first read through.
But yeah,
just shows how much putting into Kohi is putting into this. Yeah. He likes his single page frames, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, sorry,
detailed frames of crying. He likes his detailed pages of crying. That's for sure.
Yeah, but I have to admit, it is very well drawn. So I definitely like the page and all that stuff.
God, it's always so weird to go back to like the early chapters and just see how much because they just constantly keep drawing the character. They find new ways to make it even look far superior than when it was first originally drawn. It's like,
yeah, let's see. Yeah, usually so it's like you can see how the art style's improved, though. Depending on, sometimes you ask if a longer manga series goes, some might feel like the manga is getting a bit lazy with how they're drawing the characters or something.
I still think maybe one of the best indications of how much an artist grew has to be Bleach.
Uh-huh.
If you ever and I'm not saying I'm almost positive that anyone who's reading My Hero Academia at least has attempted to read Bleach at one point. Yeah, you can definitely see a stark difference from the early. I don't remember what the first arc is compared to, say, the Waco Mundo arc. You can definitely tell the difference between
You mean the
how
substitute?
much.
You mean the substitute Soul Reaper arc?
Yeah, I guess that's what it was called. I thought it was something else, but that would
I,
make more sense.
let's see. Let's see. But yeah. Oh, Shimigami Agent arc.
Well, yeah.
I know, but most people just call it substitution Shimigami arc.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shinigami sounds so much better than Soul Reaper for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I
How
mean,
Japanese it sounds.
yeah. The only other one that I can think of that had a really good art style change, and it wasn't necessarily because the art got better, it was just because you could see the character aging, kind of, so to speak. And maybe this is just because I'm a fan, is Dragon Ball. You could definitely tell Goku was aging from the early Dragon Ball to the end of Dragon Ball.
Okay, fair enough.
You'd have to actually read it to know, but even if you watch the anime, you could tell that he kind of was getting more detailed as he got older.
I think I
So
got up to midway the Piccolo Senior arc or something.
from the original Dragon Ball,
Yeah, that's
original Dragon Ball, he didn't really. I mean, he did get a little more bulky as he got from his, but it was okay. If people don't realize, Z is only the anime. In the manga, it's literally just called Dragon Ball through its entire run
yeah. No, they
till you
did.
get to Super. Yeah,
Yeah. Now, granted, in the US, they pretty much put it to Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z for marketing purposes, but yeah.
they did. But even the manga is still just called Dragon Ball over in really in the States. So yeah.
Okay, but yeah.
Even in the States, yeah, it's still Dragon Ball. In Japan, it's easily just Dragon Ball, but
But anyway,
yes.
I do like how we got Uraraka. I do find it interesting that Uraraka is thinking about Toga for a moment. It makes me wonder if this is hence that she's going to try and help Toga from her suffering and all that stuff.
I believe I said it in our group discussion, so I don't know if anyone would have known this. But if you ever pay attention to Lucky Cheese channel, we had a discussion on the villain. Was it the Suppression arc, or what was that arc called again?
The
The
Paranormal Liberation War.
Paranormal, yeah. I was talking about how Toga's situation as a villain wasn't necessarily because she wanted to be a villain. It's because her power was branded unheroic. So in
Yeah.
this situation, I guess it makes sense if uh, that's another thing, though. I mean, if you're thinking about it, because another friend of ours, For Life, was one. Was he in that one?
I think it was in the Metal Liberation Army one, but
right.
The last one. Let's see, but which was like the what? Oops, side alarm. Where you know you had let's see the arc focused on the villains, but he has not been in the Endeavor Agency one because that
obviously
because I was only in there with Lucky Chi.
Right. No, but I was actually just thinking of the Meta Liberation arc or whatever, the villain where the villains had their big moment or whatnot. And I know For Life is a big proponent of the villain should not be not necessarily unredeemable, but they shouldn't be like, trying to be like saved. So I'm curious what he thinks now after all this, because it looks like they're sort of going that route. Like Deku's going to try and save Shigaraki, and Uraraka's going to try to save Toga. I think of all of them, Toga may be the most savable, even if by all regressions she might have been the one that has the second highest kill count.
let's see. Well, I think Darby and Shigaraki have the highest kill count, to be honest. But so she probably has the third highest kill count.
Shigaraki's kill count's weird. I was just thinking of like for civilian kill count. I want to say that
Okay.
that Toga, at least on panel, has more or implied more kills than Shigaraki in terms of just because again how her trait works, but who knows? Shigaraki probably has the second highest kill count because we all know Dabi has the highest kill count.
Let's see. Fair enough, but yeah. So that's interesting. But yeah. But I do like how she just just like tries to explain that what Midoriya is trying to do and why he needs to rest and all that stuff.
Should be obvious, but you know, there's got to be added tension to this.
Yeah. I think I even see that one panel of like Midoriya's mother crying. I forgot to mention that, but yeah.
Yeah, her. Well, she was also in the previous chapter doing that, and I think she was even in the previous chapter before that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shocked she's the one that hasn't done like really any particular talking. I know Deku, I think, saw her and mentioned something in his head about it, but yeah, I'm surprised at how little she's done in the last couple chapters, despite being on panel.
Let's see. Yeah, this is would be regarded probably as a big heroine speech because from what I can tell, nearly every heroine gets like a big speech at some point in the manga.
Yeah, I guess Uraraka was needing her moment too, so this is somewhat in character, I'd say.
Yeah, I have to admit, this is probably like the biggest emphasis I've ever seen for a heroine's speech. I don't think I've ever seen one as big as like Uraraka's because it's been the main focus for the last 2 chapters now, really.
He's drawn her really well over the last, over the year.
Mm-hmm.
Over the last year or so, every panel she looks amazing.
Yep.
Gotta admit, re-seeing the newer art, well, maybe not newer, well, yeah, newer art style of the original moment when they first met actually looks pretty adorable.
Yeah, I was wondering if this was like new art style because I was wondering if Koei was just being lazy and just recycling like, old scenes and just putting them in the panels and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, I don't think he recycles too many scenes, if any. Maybe the one looks a little recycled, her actual face up.
Uh-huh.
The bad omen if you trip and fall. Maybe that's a little recycled, but the two of them standing doesn't look recycled.
Yep. But yeah, I do like how Uraraka goes like, this place is his hero academia. Stay here. Because
he likes those heavy black lines, but that's just like most manga artists.
Yeah, they always have to make this emphasis on dramatic black lines just to make it look a bit more dramatic and all that stuff.
Obviously it was an aesthetic choice, but the fact it's still raining is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like all this is going on while it's raining, and you can like see detail which characters are being dripped by the rains. But yeah,
seems to have taken a page out of. The reason I brought up Bleach entirely, though, is seems to have taken a little bit of a page because there's not too many backgrounds for some of the bigger frame shots. Like that's a pretty notorious Bleach thing.
Yeah,
Kubo wasn't big on backgrounds, but the character emphasis art was fantastic.
Yeah. Let's see. Now, on one hand, yeah, sometimes. Let's see. I think it's necessary that you'd have white crowd things, and heck, even like the other big free manga did this sometimes as well, and maybe not as much as Bleach, but
right.
but I do like due to the fact that, let's see, even though there are some very few scenes that could in this chapter, there could be white backgrounds. You've got like all the rain and the sweat stuff in the background to like show that, oh, they are outside and they're in this sort of area. Let's see, it's just to remind you that it is raining, so it's like it's
I
like
feel like it's been raining for like days, even though I know this is only. I think all of this has happened in like a single day. So
yeah,
shoot.
yeah. Let's see, but yeah, the only thing where I don't see rain in anything, I think, is like the emphasis on like the principles. He's just thinking about how, let's see, the society is one step away of making true progress. That's the only
There's
time.
a couple scenes, yeah.
Yeah, it's only with the principal, but yeah. But I do like how Witsy, when we end up Witsy getting Kota running to Midoriya, like we get like the flashback of when he actually bought those shoes as he's becomes like, the first person to reach Midoriya and, give him a hug, followed by like, the dog lady and all that stuff.
Yep.
So yeah. Anyway, I assume that we probably have at least 1 or 2 more chapters of this hunt for the villain arc before, we probably
Curious to see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry, go on.
What was the last time I was discussing? It might have been with you and Chi when I was talking about, like, I wonder if it's going to be kind of like going back to a slice of life situation, or if it's going to. It might have just been with you, and I think I only mentioned Chi because you wanted. I think Chi was saying you wanted. You were saying that Chi wanted Deku to still be doing a couple of things on his own for a while.
Yeah, still not being inside the school and all that stuff.
Right. So I'm interested. Again, I want to see where this goes because I mean either option's fine, but I'm gonna be curious just to see where it goes because obviously I have no idea at this rate.
We still have to see what's happening with All Might and Stain and all that stuff.
Yep, I keep forgetting that Stain showed up in the background for when Midoriya was going in his weird cloak situation thing.
Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, overall, I think I'll give this chapter like a 9 out of 10.
9 sounds good.
Yeah.
It's a little. Well, the last one I reviewed with you was obviously the Bakugo one, and that one had a lot more technically to discuss because it was a bigger character thing than it was like I was telling you before we even started this. Yeah, this one was still kind of straightforward. It's emotional.
Yeah.
It's the heroine still gets the emphasis off, but
yeah.
I think the only thing left with Uraraka is if you're a shipping person, that's pretty much all that's left to really define. She's the one holding on to her feelings. Deku is either oblivious or has feelings himself, but has never actually discussed them.
Yeah. Let's see, but I will admit this is a pretty good heroine speech. Let's see, all that stuff. So I think it's probably the best one I've probably seen for quite a long time, really.
A hype speech? Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I definitely like that. And I do like how you get finally Kota and the lady that Midoriya saved just running to her and all that stuff.
Kota was unexpected, but not unappreciated. I guess it should have been. Well, I'm not saying it should have been expected, but all the not overhaul, muscular, aka the summer camp arc had finally got all of its callbacks.
Yeah, I mean, we've started this arc off with like Muscular versus Midoriya, and now we've got Kota.
We all thought that Muscular rematch was going to be a lot longer than it ultimately ended up being. He threw us for a loop on that one.
Yeah, I was expecting at least 2 or 3 chapters, but no, it ended up being 1 chapter.
Didn't even get a full chapter. It was like, hey, like what, 3 pages? Freaking Deku showing the growth that at a ridiculous rate.
Yeah, I guess it does to show how far Midoriya's come, but yeah.
Guess what? I needed 100% to break my body the last time to beat you. This time, all I needed to do was find a weak point.
But yeah, let's see. But yeah, let's see everything we can cover this chapter, unless you have any other thoughts that you want to say and all that stuff.
I mean, I know we're discussing this on the day of the chapter unofficially releasing, so I know a couple things now that I wouldn't know if we were discussing beforehand, but I don't know. I don't really think, even knowing next chapter, there's nothing really in this one that would change anything that I'm thinking of. It's just the whole idea of seeing where this goes.
Yeah. Well, it is interesting because it looks like, from what I can tell, the unofficial chapter seems to imply that it seems like we might have finally concluded this arc and stuff.
Yeah, I think if the with the newest chapter probably would be the last part. There might be some lingering, but I'm pretty sure it's setting up for the next part.
Yeah.
However many parts that is, obviously we don't know. This could probably be like every final arc. It could take 3 years. It could take less than that. It's obviously up to the manga artist at this point, but still a lot of holes. Well, maybe not a lot of holes, but still some things that need to be covered before we even come to a final battle situation.
Yeah.
So.
Because usually when you get closer to the end, the mangakas tend to do rather long mega arcs and all that stuff. I mean, granted, the last arc in the previous saga was pretty much the longest a mega arc, from at least in terms of My Hero Academia pacing, at least. But yeah,
I wonder if we'll get like a mini time skip, or if we'll have like no time skip at all. That's really my only thoughts going forward, really. And and that's not really even from this chapter. Well, maybe it is a little bit from this chapter, obviously, knowing that this is, like you said, the hype speech. So, well, the only thing else that I guess I could argue, or not argue, but just like I said, when I found it interesting, it was like originally this is again Deku's story on how he became the greatest hero. Now that it is officially switched to how we became the greatest heroes, I'm interested to see what that. I know you said it means probably that other characters will have involvement, which is cool, great actually. But I'm wondering what that potentially means still, because I know some people speculate that Deku's either going to sacrifice his power or sacrifice his life. I doubt too many people think that, but it is still a possibility. Well, that isn't a possibility, but it could be a possibility.
I do know that. I think, if I recall, Lucky Chi is open to that idea, while James is against it.
James is against a lot of things. James is the one that make fun of Deku the most.
No, that is probably true. So, yeah.
Has James ever even done one of your single chapter ones?
No, he's only been on, let's see, a One Punch Man stream, because I figured, I want to talk One Punch Man, and I figured, you know what? Let's see. And then Superman.
One Punch Man. Oh, he did a Superman stream with you.
Because, okay. You can probably this is because it gives him a chance to talk about everything he knows about Superman and recently this week I did a review with him with Free Guy.
That's cool.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. So let's see. I have asked him a few times, hey, you want to talk My Hero with me? But he's either behind or can't or something. But yeah.
Yeah.
But who knows?
He's not too big on too many. Keeping up with certain mangas these days. I think he keeps up with One Punch, obviously, but
let's see. Fine enough, I'm behind on that, so I gotta start reading that when I can. But yeah, but anyway,
I gotta just pick it up at all. I mean, I've read a couple things, but it's sporadic at best. So
yeah, but
mostly my anime that most of my One Punch Man comes from the anime. So
fair enough. That's the first 14 volumes total. But anyway, I think it's time we wrap the stream up since we're probably starting to get a bit off topic now.
Yeah, it's a little hard to do single chapters compared to full-on discussion of the product as a whole.
Yeah, which is probably why I'm waiting to see for when we talk about Record of Ragnarok again, either like you've watched all the anime episodes or the 6th round has been concluded.
Yeah, I definitely caught up finally on the manga. The anime, I don't know why I kind of I still haven't picked it back up yet. I think it was probably because you were telling me about the Atomverse.
Let's see, Zeus.
Atomverse, Zeus fight, and I'm like, oh no, now I don't want to watch it.
But I would at least watch it once just to see how they've portrayed it. But yeah, anyway,
right.
Anyway, let's see. So let's see. The unofficial chapter release of My Hero for the next one has come out, but I won't be discussing it for the translation until next week. Possibly on Tuesday with Lucky Chi, but like I said earlier, who knows, he might be busy or something, but just something might come up. But if not, let's see. I'll try and see if my friend here, MangaReader, can read it, can join me, folks, and we'll give our views once again and all that stuff. But anyway,
of course.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining me again, MangaReader. I am Blue Star Saber,
and I'm MangaReader.
And we're signing off. Plus Ultra, everyone. Goodbye.
Plus Ultra.